Jesus explains Daniel's 70th week. Following is an ongoing message received in answer to prayer, in which Jesus explains the matter of the 70th week prophecy of Daniel 9:27. Message narrated by Daniel. All scripture references are KJV. Jesus explains. Although I caused the need for sacrifice to cease when I was crucified, the unbelieving Jew neither understands nor accepts this fact. And although I came in my Father's name, the Jews rejected me as their Messiah. But when another shall come in his own name, the Jews will receive him as their Messiah. He shall enter in with peace and flatteries, and allow the Jews to rebuild their temple in Jerusalem. This man shall be the Antichrist who is to come, and he shall confirm a holy covenant with many. This covenant will allow the Jews to rebuild their temple in Jerusalem and resume their daily sacrifice. This event will make international news. Unwittingly, the media in those days shall be fulfilling my purpose. Unwittingly, the great media companies shall be notifying those of understanding that Daniel's 70th week, the last 7 years, hath begun. For the Antichrist shall distance himself and disassociate himself from the Daniel 9:27 prophecy, because it exposes his evil intentions. And therefore only those of understanding shall be prepared to instruct many as to what is happening concerning my return. Even now, Satan is working to deceive many that Daniel's 70th week has been fulfilled. Therefore, stand fast in the knowledge of my truth, so that you won't be blown off course by strange winds of doctrine in the last days. Here is that truth. But before that, a quick review. While the prophet Daniel was in exile with his people in Babylon for 70 years, during which time Jerusalem and the Jewish temple lay in ruin, the angel Gabriel appeared to Daniel to give him a prophecy concerning the future of Israel. This prophecy is found in Daniel chapter 9, 24-27. Gabriel revealed that 70 weeks were determined upon Daniel and his people, Israel. This unusual wording simply meant that 70 weeks, or 70 sets of 7 years, 490 years, were determined concerning Israel's future. Gabriel went on to explain that Jerusalem and the temple would be rebuilt during the first 7 weeks, meaning during the first 49 years of the prophecy. And then there would be another 62 weeks, meaning another 434 years, until Prince the Messiah would be crucified. The prophecy clearly explains that I was crucified at the end of the 69th week, not halfway through the 70th week, as some may claim. My crucifixion marked the end of the 69th week, or the end of the 483 years of the 490 years required to fulfill the prophecy. This leaves 1 week or 7 years that need to be fulfilled to complete Daniel's 70-week prophecy. And those 7 years are referred to as Daniel's 70th week. My word proves that Daniel's 70-week prophecy will have an end-time fulfillment. In other words, 7 years of events are still required to seal up the vision and the prophecy. The last verse of Daniel's 70-week prophecy reads, "And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured out upon the desolate. And as a point of interest, Daniel 8:11 proves that it is the Antichrist who takes away the daily sacrifice referred to in Daniel 9:27. I referred to Daniel 9:27 as a sign of my coming, where I referred to the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet. And although the prophecy had some fulfillment in 70 AD, the prophecy will have its ultimate fulfillment in the last days. Allow me to explain. After the rise of the Antichrist, he shall confirm a covenant that shall usher in a period of peace and safety. Enough peace and safety to allow the Jews to rebuild their temple in Jerusalem and begin their daily sacrifice. And then somewhere just prior to the middle of the last 7 years, a balanced study of prophecy will reveal that this is when the Antichrist shall get a deadly head wound. Soon after, the slain body of the Antichrist world leader shall become possessed by Satan himself, and he shall live to become the Satan-possessed Antichrist. Then, in the middle of Daniel's 70th week, the Satan-possessed Antichrist shall cause the Jews' daily sacrifice to cease, so that he can sit in the temple as God and above all that is called God. This is when you shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet. And this is when the 1,260 days of great tribulation shall begin. This is when all the events associated with the Great Tribulation shall begin. Then immediately after those days of tribulation is when I shall appear in the clouds, and I shall send my angels to gather my elect from every direction on earth, to take them from earth's end of heaven to the far end of heaven. On that day is when the wrath of God begins to be poured out upon the earth, and upon those who have worshipped the image of the beast and received his 666 mark. To find out what else happens during those days of wrath and how long those days shall last, be sure to continue to watch the Jesus Explained series. And check out ENDTIMESofficial.com, the End Times Teaching Ministry. That's ENDTIMESofficial.com. Thank you, and God bless.